And I guess this is where we get into the question of, is more profit better? And it's interesting. I always think of this in terms of the rule of 40, which is talked about a lot in entrepreneurship, right? Which is the concept of, if your EBITDA or your profit and your growth rate add up to 40% or more, then you're doing pretty good. And it speaks to sort of this trade-off that we can sometimes make deliberate decisions around of, maybe I'm going to choose to be a little less profitable and invest more in growth. Maybe I'm going to choose to optimize for profit and pull more cash out of the business, but I'll likely grow faster than I otherwise could. So yeah, let's talk about the growth aspect of this. Why 20%? And then what's sort of the nuance in terms of the business strategy for a given client?
It's funny that you brought up the rule of 40. I had mentors who told me about these numbers, who had mentors who told them about these numbers. And so this has been a long-standing belief of what the numbers should be. So why that's the case, I can't tell you, but I believe it. The data that I've used supports it. The rule of 40 is actually a SaaS number. It is not a service-based number. But if you take 20% EBITDA plus 20% growth, it happens to equal 40. So I thought it was really interesting that two industries both came out with the same 40 number. Now, my concern, and I've seen this a lot, is that a lot of companies' delivery cost is too high, and then they invest nothing in their infrastructure. And then they have 25% EBITDA and they feel really good about themselves. And what ends up happening is that you just see it over time, where their year-over-year revenue growth just starts eroding and they actually start shrinking as a business as opposed to growing. If you are spending the right amount of money in each specific area, if you can shave off points in, let's just say, non-growth areas, such as your back office, and still have the right infrastructure, I would rather you invest that money back into sales and marketing and back into R&D to fuel more growth to the business than put it in your pocket. Let's just say you typically get 15% for your back office operations and finance. Let's just say you could do it at 13%. I'd rather you then spend 10% on sales and marketing, then go to 22% in EBITDA, because that's going to put you in a better position to scale and grow your business.
And so the elephant in the room with all of this, right, is we talk about cash, we talk about profit, we talk about growth. And when you kind of zoom out from that, the thing that I can't shut up about, and I think that we're very aligned on, is the degree to which you can do all of those things and have the optionality to do all of those things, and in some cases exceed these benchmarks, right? Have higher than 20% EBITDA and higher than 20% growth, and invest in all the infrastructure, and like not have to make really any compromises, is dictated by what you just mentioned, right? What is the gross margin or the delivery margin in the business, which is a function of how much revenue can you generate and what do you spend on the delivery cost to get it done. And that being like such a high point of leverage where we can accomplish these things without having to cut the investments that we're making in administration.
I explain to everybody that is by far the most important metric.